My people, last week I made a video on the best rewards that you can get from Key's Walnut Room. These rewards were purchased using Key Gems, which you get from completing a variety of challenges around Stardew Valley. In this video, we're going to take a look at how to complete each of those challenges, as well as how many gems they're worth. I'm going to be releasing a video soon that talks about how accepting these challenges works and which challenge is the most efficient for earning Key Gems, but for now, let's get into the tutorial. Also, if you find this video helpful, I'd appreciate it if you leave a like, as it helps it do better on YouTube, and if you've liked a couple of my videos, consider subscribing. I also stream live at twitch.tv/unsurpassablez. The first one isn't hard to figure out how to do, but it can be pretty tough to actually accomplish. Key's Hungry Challenge requires you to get to floor 100 of the Skull Cavern without consuming any food. Your strategy here won't change much from how you normally do the Skull Cavern, but you'll really need to prioritize not taking damage. I made an entire Skull Cavern guide a few months ago that's been really well received, so if you need help advancing to deeper levels, make sure to check that out. I'm also working on a more high-level tutorial for the Skull Cavern for those of you that are a bit further along on your farm. You'll have 7 days to complete this challenge, so try to go on a day that has above average luck. If you want a super easy way to complete this challenge, you can mass produce jades in your crystallariums, then trade them in for staircases at the Desert Trader on Sunday. After you've collected 100 staircases, you can just tunnel your way straight down to the end of your challenge. Completing this task will reward you with 25 Key Gems. Sticking with the same theme, another challenge Key offers is the Skull Cavern Invasion, where you have 7 days to reach level 100 of his tougher Skull Cavern. In here you'll face longer serpents, fire spitters with 6 sunglasses, and a variety of other buffed versions of the normal monsters. These guys do more damage and have more health, and there's more of them too. Don't get too worried though, because just like the last challenge, there's not much change in strategy from the normal cavern, and if it proves too difficult, you could always get 100 ladders and skip to the end. And PS, while you're here, try to grab some of the new radioactive ore, as it's used in a ton of the recipes for Key's rewards. Completing this task will grant you with 40 Key Gems. Key has also prepared a harder version of the regular mines. Upon accepting his challenge, Danger in the Deep, your mines will reset, and your elevator will go back to how it was when you first started the game. Only through traversing the mines 5 levels at a time can you get a new checkpoint, but this time around the enemies pack more of a punch. Here's a quick look at levels 1 through 29, 30 through 39, 40 through 49, 50 through 69, 70 through 79, 80 through 109, and finally levels 110 through 120. Although there's a ton of new enemies present in these tougher mines, your strategy of don't let the bad guy touch you holds true. Since you only have 7 days max to complete this challenge, you'll need to get going right away, since you'll need to aim to complete 20 levels per day. And because of how accepting these challenges works, you probably won't want to accept this unless you have the full time frame to complete it. But at the end of the day, you'll walk away with 50 Key Gems if you're successful. To complete the challenge 4 precious stones, you'll need to find 4 prismatic shards and place them in Key's collection box on Ginger Island. Unlike most of the other quests, you don't need to find them while the quest is active. If you already have 4 prismatic shards, you can just put them right in. Prismatic shards can be found in a few different ways, but you'll likely want to depend on one of these 2 methods. Method number 1 is by cracking open mystic stones. When you open one, it has a 25% chance to drop a prismatic shard, which is way more common than the other methods of obtaining. The best place to find these is in your quarry, but you can also find them in the mines below level 100 and in the Skull Cavern. This brings me to method number 2, which is of course the Skull Cavern. Every iridium node has a 4% chance of containing a prismatic shard. Every treasure room you encounter has a 4% chance. Every serpent or mummy you kill has a 1% chance of dropping, and every Omni Geode you open has a 0.4% chance. Considering you have 28 days to finish this challenge, you should have more than enough time to complete it, even if you end up with some bad luck. Completing this task will reward you with 40 Key Gems. The Extended Family Challenge requires you to catch new versions of the 5 legendary fish of Stardew Valley. They're caught in the same spots as their predecessors, but your fishing bar doesn't have a special mark like it does with normal legendary fish. These guys can be pretty tough to catch, and your 3-day time limit doesn't make it much easier. So to help out, I'd recommend following at least one of these tips. Temporary boosts provided from dishes like seafoam pudding make it tremendously easier to keep control of the fish. Similarly, using a trap bobber to make your catching bar decrease slower, or a cork bobber to give you a wider catching bar, can make or break your attempt. I'd recommend catching the 5 fish from hardest to easiest so that you can restart your day if you're having too much trouble getting the hard ones quickly. Therefore, the first one you should catch is the Legend 2, which can be found in the mountain lake when fishing from this location. Next, you'll want to go for Glacier Fish Jr., which can be found off the south end of Arrowhead Island in Cindersnap Forest. After that, head to the eastmost pier of the beach to catch Son of Crimson Fish. Next, catch Ms. Angler off the north end of the wooden bridge by Jojamart, then finally catch the radioactive carp in the sewers. After you finish this challenge, you'll get 20 Key Gems, and you get to keep the fish to flex in your fish tank. Once you've accepted the challenge Key's crop, you'll need to find 500 key beans scattered around Stardew Valley and grow them into key fruit to be shipped. You've got 28 days to do this, making it one of the longest challenges. You can find key beans by breaking rocks, chopping trees, cutting grass, killing monsters, fishing, and just generally playing the game. If you're desperate for some beans, a reliable source is fishing with the pirate skill and the treasure hunter tackle. You can also break open geodes, which will give you either 1 or 5 beans. Once planted, the crop takes 4 days to grow, or 3 days with the deluxe Speed-Gro. The strategy you'll want to follow here is turning all of your initial key fruit back into seeds using the seed maker, as the hardest part of this challenge is finding enough beans. As long as you plant your last round of fruit by the 24th day of the challenge, you'll have enough time to ship the rest. The fruit themselves only sell for 1 gold apiece, but the challenge is worth 100 key gems. Key's kindness requires you to give 50 loved gifts over 7 days. Since you can give someone 2 gifts per week, and this challenge spans over 2 different weeks, you'll be able to give 4 gifts to the same person. I'm going to read off a list of what I think are the easiest gifts to give people, and you can decide for yourself what the easiest items to obtain are for you. Harvey loves coffee, pickles, truffle oil, and wine. Sam loves cactus fruits, and Sebastian loves sashimi. Shane loves beer, which can be bought directly next to him where he stands on most nights, and Abigail loves amethyst and pumpkin. Emily loves amethyst, aquamarine, cloth, emerald, jade, ruby, topaz, and wool. Haley loves coconuts, and Leah loves wine and truffles. Maru loves battery packs, cauliflower, diamond, gold bars, and iridium bars. Penny loves diamonds and emeralds. Clint loves amethyst, aquamarine, emerald, jade, omnigeodes, ruby, and topaz. The dwarf loves amethyst, aquamarine, emerald, jade, omnigeodes, ruby, and topaz. Evelyn, Gus, Marnie, and Jody all love diamond, and Krobus loves diamond and iridium bar. Leo loves duck feather and mango, and Linus loves cactus fruit and coconut. Pam loves beer, cactus fruit, pale ale, and mead. Willie loves diamond, iridium bar, mead, and sturgeon, and finally the wizard loves solar and void essence. Remember, these are just the items I think are easy to collect since I've got them laying around, but for a full list of loved gifts, check out the wiki page linked in the description. Completing this challenge rewards you with 40 key gems. To complete Key's Prismatic Grange, you need to place 100 red, orange, yellow, green, blue, and purple items into Key's collection box. The list for what can be used is similar to the list for dyeing, although it's not exactly the same. The dyeing list for each color is in the description, but here's a list of what I believe are the easiest items that work. For your red item, I'd suggest using cranberries, since they only take 7 days to grow and produce more every 5 days after that. For your orange, you can use copper ore, and for your yellow, you can use torches. For green, you should use fiber, and your blue should either be battery packs or Joja Cola. For purple, you can either use bug meat, iridium ore, or void essence. It's also possible to mix and match your options, so you can see here that I've put in 50 iridium ore and 50 void essence for my purple item. You've got 14 days to complete this challenge, and doing so will reward you with 35 key gems. Key's Cuisine requires you to ship 100,000 gold worth of freshly cooked items over 14 days. Only items that are cooked after starting the quest count, and anything that will count towards the challenge has the word fresh in front of it. Now, your strategy will likely change depending on what you have laying around, but here's a list of some that I think should be pretty easy. Any eggs you have can be turned directly into a fried egg, yielding 35 gold each, or you can pair that egg with a milk, giving 125 gold per omelet that you make. If you've got a bunch of extra maple syrup laying around, you can buy wheat flour and sugar to make maple bars that sell for 300 gold apiece, but you'll still lose 100 gold making each of these bars. If spending money isn't a big deal for you, you can complete this challenge really easily by buying 669 coffees from Gus at the saloon, then turning them all into triple shot espressos. You'll lose 450 gold per espresso that you make for a total loss of 100,350 gold. If you have the recipe, you can buy 1,667 wheat flour from Pierre for 100 gold each, then turn them all into baguettes. You'll lose 40 gold on each for a total cost of 67,000. Remember, you can mix and match any of these strategies to get up to 100,000 gold. It does not have to be all one item, and you can add any of your own strategies as well. If you're stuck, I'd recommend checking out the comments on this video since people always have great ideas down there. In the challenge Let's Play a Game, you need to score 50,000 points in Junimo Kart Endless Mode. For me personally, this is harder than any of the other challenges. You can laugh at me if you want to for not being able to beat a children's game, but my best run was just shy of 20,000. If I did have to give advice, I'd say get the 3 fruit on the first level since it gives a bonus 5,000, but after that focus on not dying rather than going for the fruit or for the coins. If you're better than I am though, this could be a very quick way to earn 10 key gems and you've got 7 whole days to do it. So there you go, that is how you complete every challenge from Key's Walnut Room. If this video was helpful, it would help me out a ton if you guys left a like or considered subscribing to the channel, and of course I stream live at twitch.tv/unsurpassablez. That's all I got for this one though. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.